around 30 mudras that I especially love and that I incorporate quite a lot. I think as far as practice goes, you can sit with mudra at the beginning of meditation practice. One very nice way to work with mudra is to give yourself at least 5 to 10 minutes of experiencing the mudra and listening inside, paying attention, observing the inner effects, because mudra affects the inner subtle body and creates these beautiful pathways and energetic openings that assist us in our lives. And if you find yourself connecting with a mudra, really use it and sit with it over weeks at a time so that you become intimate in the relationship with this mudra. And then I also practice mudra inside yoga poses quite a lot, and I like that combination of the two. So for example, for me, Fearless Heart Abhaya Hridaya Mudra is my essence mudra, and it's the way that I begin every single day, and I come to it multiple times throughout a day. But this particular mudra stands for, Abhaya means fearless, and Hridaya means the essence of the heart. So it stands for being able to relax the agitated surface mind, the fragmented, scattered thoughts of the mind, call those parts of the self home to the root essence of the heart, and to deeply remember what this is all for and what this is about. And that at the essence and at the root of the heart, it's like the fear in the periphery just dissolves into that innermost place that can really remember what this is about, like the heart of the matter. So Fearless Heart Mudra is how I begin each day. And then inside yoga poses, if you were taking Warrior Two, for example, sometimes I'll come to this pose right before Warrior Two, which is the Vajra Mudra. And it says, this is the place of unshakable confidence and unshakable trust. Vajra, it's the mythic weapon to destroy self-doubt. And so then I hold it and I'm in Warrior Two, and then I'll open up and I remember, okay, this warrior pose here is not just like a form that I'm taking in my body and holding for 5-8 breaths and just trying to hold steady, but this is the inner form of my unshakable confidence, my unshakable trust in the flow of my life, that I am a warrior in this life, a warrior of my heart, a warrior of truth, a warrior to be of service. And then I have to remember, and then maybe I take it up high to Warrior One, and then I might come into Vira Mudra, which is the mudra of deep courage, and that's what Vira means anyway. How do we seat ourselves in the courage of our being and then rise up in a new triumphant way? So the mudras then layer in such potent meaning and experience into the practice, as well as working on the subtle body while we're in the physical, and then the physical and the subtle body are bridged, and all of a sudden we're in the alchemy of yoga. I'd like to teach you Abhaya Hridaya Mudra, which is Fearless Heart Mudra. And to give one teaching to what it means to be fearless as well, because for the Tantrika, fear is a real part of life, and sometimes our fears are instinctual just to help us survive, like, oh, the fire is hot. Sometimes the fears are imagined and they haven't even happened, and they probably never will, but we just imagine them. And then we also have the growth edge fear, like the fear that rises inside of us when we're about to make a shift or a change, and then resistance and fear comes up. And it's okay. So in the first sense, for the Tantrika, it's not like we're trying to push away fear or say, I never want to feel fear again. We go, oh, fear happens. Fear is a natural part of life, and there's different types of fears even. But what we begin to understand is that at the same time that we might experience a fear, there is something so much greater than our fear that is actually calling out to us, something so much bigger than that limited, small fear that might be holding us back. So for the yogi, we learn to make the choice that, okay, here's this fear, bow to the fear, and I choose not to be governed by this fear. I am going to choose to yoke myself to my center and find that something greater than my fear and call myself home. And then over time, my own fears will dissolve and I will open up from the center of my heart. And that's what Fearless Heart is about. So it's asking us, how can we harmonize with our fears? How can, instead of being governed by our fears, how can we collaborate? And then recognize also that our fear is calling us to a greater place of courage. And that greater place of courage is to help each one of us live our lives as beautifully and fully as we can in the world, as bhukti, just the worldly fulfillment of the self, and as mukti, as the spiritual liberation of the self. So the tradition of Tantra says bhukti mukti pradayani means the one who confers the blessings of worldly fulfillment and spiritual liberation simultaneously. They are sweethearts, they are not against each other. And when the fear arises, then it is a call to us to open up our heart of courage and to enter a very rich and deep discovery of who we are. And so that's what Fearless Heart Mudra is about. So bring both hands palms up and then cross your right wrist in front of your left with the back of the hands facing each other. Wrap your right index finger around the left index finger. Hold on. Wrap your right middle finger around the left. Skip over your ring finger and wrap your right little finger around your left. Then bring your thumb and your ring finger together to make a seal. And draw the base of the right thumb into the root of your heart, to the base of the sternum. So abhaya means have no fear. And you often see this mudra, have no fear, abhaya. And you could say, have no fear, grace is present, grace is here. Hridaya, the heart root essence, which lives, let's say in the physical body, if we place it just behind the base of the sternum and back and in front of the spine, the thoracic spine. Then sit tall inside yourself. Fearless Heart Mudra helps to bring clarity to the mind, to create a luminous and spacious, mindful awareness. And then the periphery of the mind, the scattered, fragmented thoughts, are calmed down and in a certain way absorbed into the innermost essence of being. And through this inner absorption, the fears and the fragmented thoughts and the places of separation begin to dissolve into the essence nature, which is an infinite ocean of love itself. And so we hold the mudra, Fearless Heart Mudra, and this is a very vitalizing mudra, meaning that it gives a lot of energy and vitality for the self physically and for the spirit too. And anytime that you feel very fatigued or tired, you can take this mudra. Anytime that you feel confused by a situation and you notice that your mind is starting to spin off in an unhelpful way, you can take this mudra and come to your breath. Anytime that you need to remember the truth of who you are and your inner strength and your inner power and your inner courage and your inner essence, you can take this mudra. Anytime that you feel fear and you want to close down and shut yourself away from life and from the world and from your own self, you can take this mudra. And Soul Fearless Heart Mudra calls each of us home to our inner truth, to our inner fearlessness of being, to our own warriorship within that rises up in the face of adversity and says, I choose to love even more. I choose to grow. Breathe very deeply, long, deep breathing. And as you inhale, visualize like a great sword of truth coming down through the crown of your head, down through the front of your spine, down into the pelvic floor. And as you exhale, the energy rises up from the pelvic floor, up the back of your spine, and up through the crown of the head. Hold the mudra, Fearless Heart Mudra. Relax through your hips, brighten through the spine. Hold yourself still and steady. Inhale, a great sword of light and truth comes down the crown of the head, down the front of the spine, down through the center of the pelvic floor and into the earth. And the way is being cleared for you. And as you exhale, a resurgence, a re-emergence of truth and light and love rising from the earth, lifting up through the back of the spine and up through the crown of your head. Inhale, down the front of the spine. Exhale, up the back of the spine. Hold yourself steady. Call yourself home. Bless every part of your journey. Bless every feeling, every thought, every inner experience, and then bless the outer circumstances too. And make the choice from within yourself to live fearlessly rooted in your own center, in your own heart, and to cultivate a spacious, loving awareness within the self, a clear mind in service of the highest truth of you. And as we hold the mudra, let's chant 11 times the mantra of Durga, which is the mantra of strength, courage, protection in our endeavors. Said that this mantra helps us to overcome the greatest of difficulties because we become so clear and rooted inside the essence nature of self. It's Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. 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 Victory to the highest self, victory to love, victory to the yogi, to the yogini who chooses awareness and chooses love and chooses to grow no matter what. And release your hands to Anjali Mudra, a mudra of innermost reverence of self and of the whole soul's journey. This great soul's walkabout in this embodied form. It is a gift, and we remember the gift. Namaste.